Once upon a time, in a quiet mountain village, nestled deep within the lush green hills of ancient Japan, there lived a young boy named Taro. He was just 7 years old, with bright eyes full of curiosity.
Wait, don't go!
And a heart as pure as the mountain streams that trickled down from the peaks. The village, called Yamano, was a peaceful place, surrounded by towering bamboo groves, misty forests, and jagged rocks that kept it hidden from the rest of the world. The villagers were simple folk, farmers, weavers, and woodcutters. They grew rice in terraced fields, harvested wild
greens
vegetables,
look so fresh today. And some mushrooms for the stew. All right, time to head back. What a beautiful day.
and relied on the bamboo for
got it.
everything
Hold
from
steady.
building homes
Pass the rope.
to
We
making
need to secure
baskets.
this.
But there was one thing the people of Yamano longed for: the sea. Long ago, stories passed down from elders spoke of the vast ocean with its salty breeze, crashing waves, and bountiful fish. The sea was said to be a place of wonders, where shells gleamed like jewels and the water stretched endlessly to the horizon. However, the village was so high in the mountains that no one had seen the sea in generations. The paths down were treacherous, filled with steep cliffs, dense thorns, and wild animals. Over time, the sea became nothing more than a legend.
Then the dragon's eyes glowed like the fire.
A distant dream whispered around the fire on cold evenings.
As large as the
Taro's family was no different. He lived with his mother, father, and little sister in a small thatched hut at the edge of the village. His father was a strong woodcutter. His mother a skilled weaver who made beautiful cloths from silk and hemp.
What a beautiful day!
Taro's sister
Let's go to the
Hannah
meadow. Yes,
was only
I want to pick
4,
flowers.
with
Okay,
chubby
and see the
cheeks and a
birds.
giggle
This
that
is
could
the
brighten
best.
the
Race you
gloomiest
there.
day. Taro loved helping his family. He would fetch water from the stream, tend to the vegetable garden, or run errands for the neighbors. But more than anything,
I dream of adventure beyond these hills, and the endless sea calling me.
Taro dreamed of adventure, wondering what lay beyond. One crisp spring morning, as the cherry blossoms began to bloom and the air filled with the sweet scent of new growth,
Taro, my dear, we need a bamboo shoot.
A bamboo shoot? Okay, Mom.
the soup won't be the same without it. Go to the grove and find a nice young one. Taro nodded eagerly.
Mom, I will get the best one. The best one!
He skipped out the door. His straw sandals crunching on the gravel path. The bamboo grove was just a short walk away. A thick forest of tall, swaying stalks that whispered in the wind like secrets being shared. Taro had been there many times before, but today felt different. The sun filtered through the leaves in golden shafts, and the birds sang a cheerful melody. As he ventured deeper into the grove, pushing aside the slender green stems, Taro searched for the perfect shoot. Most were small and tender, poking up from the soft earth like curious fingers. But then, he spotted something unusual. In a clearing bathed in sunlight, there was a bamboo shoot unlike any other. It glowed faintly, as if lit from within. "Wow," Taro whispered, kneeling down. "This one is special." He carefully dug around its base with his knife. Just as he pulled it free, something strange happened. The shoot trembled in his hands, and before his eyes, it began to grow. Taro's eyes widened in amazement. "What? How is this possible?" He held on tightly, but the shoot kept growing, lifting him slightly off the ground. Frightened but excited, he clutched his basket and ran back to the village. The shoot now as tall as he was. "Mother! Father, come quick!" Taro shouted as he burst into the village square. The villagers gathered around, murmuring in surprise. The shoot continued to grow, now reaching the height of a man. Taro's father examined it closely. "This is no ordinary bamboo, son." That evening, they cooked a small piece of the shoot into their soup, and it was the most delicious thing they had ever tasted.
It's so
Sweet,
warm.
I'm glad you like
tender,
it.
and full of flavor that made everyone smile. But the magic didn't stop. The next day, the bamboo shoot,
Is it magic?
now
Maybe.
planted in the center of the village to
Sign
observe
of
it,
fortune.
grew even taller. By morning, it towered over the huts, its leaves rustling high above. Old Grandma Yuki,
This bamboo stalk is a
The
gift
village
from the
storyteller,
kami. It
sat
carries
beneath
their
it and
blessing
said,
and the spirit of the
"This is a
forest.
gift from the kami.
May it bring you
spirits.
peace."
It grows to
Dad,
teach us
you're
something
it!
important.
No way!
Children
you can't
played
catch
around
me.
its base,
I'm gonna get
and
you.
adults cut small
Gotcha!
sections to use for tools and food.
You'll never tag
But
me.
no matter how much they took,
Uncle, is
the
it ready to
bamboo
cut?
regenerated,
Yes, hold the basket
growing
steady.
endlessly.
Careful now, don't strain
Days turned
yourself.
into a week,
I will. Look, it's
and the
falling.
bamboo
Good work,
shot up
everyone.
like a
Let's
green
take a
pillar,
break.
reaching for the sky. It became the center of village life. Taro, proud of his discovery, took care of it, watering it and talking to it like a friend.
Time to water the
"Thank you for
bamboo.
growing so strong," he would say.
There you go.
His sister
Drink
Hana
up.
would hug its base, giggling
You'll grow big and
as
strong.
it swayed gently. The villagers shared the bamboo's bounty. They made new roofs, baskets, and even flutes that played haunting melodies. But as it grew taller, whispers spread. What if it keeps growing? Will it touch the clouds? One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of orange and pink, the bamboo began to creak loudly. It had grown so tall that its top was lost in the mist. The villagers gathered, watching in awe. Grandma Yuki spoke up. "Listen, everyone. This bamboo is not just for us to take from. It wants to connect us to something greater. If we let it fall, it might create a path we've long forgotten. To the sea." The idea sparked excitement and fear. The sea? Could it be? Taro's father nodded thoughtfully. The legends say our ancestors came from the coast, but the mountains sealed us in. Perhaps this is our chance, but not everyone agreed. Some villagers worried it would crush the homes if it
Look,
fell
everyone,
wrong.
this giant bamboo could
Others
change
feared
everything.
change. Taro,
It could crush our homes.
standing
We
small
must get
but
rid of
brave,
it.
said, "I found it, and I think we should trust it. The bamboo hasn't heard us yet." That night, under a full
The sea
moon,
used to be so
the
close.
village held a
Fish were
meeting by
plentiful.
lantern light.
Yes, and the children would run to
Stories
the
were
shore every
shared
day.
of lost fishermen,
Oh, many
of salty
times. We had
winds,
such good times.
of fish that tasted like the ocean's tears. Taro listened, his imagination soaring. He dreamed of waves lapping at his feet, of collecting shells for Hana. As the discussion went on, the bamboo groaned, as if urging them forward. The next morning, the decision was made. They would guide the bamboo to fall safely toward the valley that led downward. The villagers worked together, tying ropes to its base and pulling gently to direct its lean. Taro climbed part way up, calling encouragement. "You're doing great. Just a little more." With a mighty crack, the bamboo began to tip. It fell slowly at first, then faster, its length stretching across the landscape like a giant green bridge. It crashed through the thorns, over the cliffs, and down the slopes, carving a path through the wilderness. Dust rose, birds scattered, but no one was heard. When the echo faded, the villagers peered down. The bamboo lay like a road, straight and true, all the way to a distant shimmer. The sea. Taro was the first to venture down. With his basket in hand, he walked along the fallen stalk, its surface smooth and sturdy. The path wound through forests he had never seen, past sparkling waterfalls and meadows of wildflowers. As he descended, the air grew warmer, salted with a breeze that carried the sound of waves. Hours later, Taro reached the shore. The ocean stretched before him, vast and blue, waves crashing on golden sand. Seagulls cried overhead, and shells littered the beach like treasures. Overjoyed, Taro collected fish from shallow pools, shells for Hana, and salt from the rocks. He filled his basket and hurried back up the bamboo path, his heart pounding with excitement. When he returned to the village, he shared his finds. "The sea is real, and now we can go there." From that day on, the bamboo bridge changed everything. Villagers traveled to the sea, trading mountain goods for fish, seaweed, and news from afar. Children played on the beach, learning to swim. Taro's family prospered. His mother wove nets. His father built boats from bamboo. The village of Yamano was no longer isolated. It was connected, alive with new stories and laughter. And Taro,
I've learned so much already.
he grew up to be a wise leader,
Wisdom comes
always
with
remembering
every
the
step
lesson
we
of the
take.
bamboo. Even a small boy and a simple shoot can bridge worlds, if only you let them grow. The endless bamboo became a legend itself, a symbol of unity and adventure. And on clear nights, when the wind whispered through the groves, you could almost hear it saying, "Share, trust, and reach for the unknown."